Hi, trend chasing is bad. You should never do that. Anyway, Game Over got rated very recently, so like an absolute trailblazer, I'm going to actually see if I like it or if I want to game over myself. Also, this level by this one guy that is like very good at that Geometry Dash 3D speedrun game. Yeah, that guy made a remake sequel of Game Over, so might as well cover that as well while we're at it. Epilepsy and flashy levels warning. Let's get Carpal Tunnel. Game Over is a rainbow-themed Extreme Demon Mega collab that got verified by SrGuillester back when Elvis died on the toilet. The first half, which is where most of the difficulty comes from, is very slow and timing based. It's oddly similar to Hatred, which he also verified. Unlike Hatred, however, this entire level has excellent click sync. Basically the best I've ever seen in a rated level. Every single click in the song is synced with a click in the level. If you know the song though, you will know that the song goes from like kinda calm and peaceful to that. This is coincidentally also the part that the level is most well known for, even though it's probably the easiest part of the entire level. It kinda gives off Slight 9 Circles vibes, with the very simple and straightforward gameplay and the epileptic nature of the decoration. Even though this time, it's a bit more gay than it is normally. But we over here, we support Tride and Pride Month. So we love this part. It's awesome. It goes hard as shit. For some reason, the CPS in this part of the level is insanely high. It's like a consistent 7 CPS for the entire part. And it's not like it's just spam, it's timed spam, so it's click consistency. The level becomes extremely repetitive actually, but that's on purpose. Because they want to show you the Aurora by the Chris in the background, which looks awesome by the way. Only thing missing is the epic Kirby boss fight. The part switches up around halfway through and changes into whatever this is. The ship at the ending is also very evil, by the way. An invisible teleport into straight fly. Fantastic! My absolute favorite. Personally, I really like this level. It's amazing. It looks really good. It is a specific niche that it fills very well. And also the spam hurts your hand, which is epic. A lot of people are put off by this level because of the high CPS part, even though it's definitely the easier half of the level. Another thing people criticize this level for is the repetitiveness of it all. I personally think it adds to the level, but I've heard a lot of people who say that it takes away a lot. And if you personally think that, that's totally fine. I get it. But I personally can look over that. I can look at the level for what it actually is and what it tries to go for. Being cool and being funny. And it does both very well in my opinion. If this is somehow your type of level like it is for me, you will absolutely love it. Because it does everything that this style of level tries to do usually, but it actually does it very well. And it has an Aurora Borealis, come on. Somehow this level stayed unrated for like 4 years. It just got rated a couple weeks ago by now. The only real reason why I could think this level stayed unrated is because it's both very repetitive and it has very weird gameplay. But thinking spaces, Sucoup and circles got rated, so there was really no more excuse. Well, okay, the level's optimization is not great, but you have an LDM that works very well as an LDM, so another and probably an even bigger reason why this level never got rated is because of the carpal tunnel it gives you. Like, the CPS you have to have for this level is so high, and it's so painful on your hand. Even while recording footage, I was botting the level and my hand was hurting so bad that I had to take multiple breaks from it. It's ridiculous. I myself personally only think one part of the level is truly not that great, and it's the first couple of inputs. Because why do you put these jumps at the beginning of the level? It just makes it so dragged out and feels so insanely boring to play. It's actually pretty disappointing that I did not want to grind out this level for the longest time. Not because it was too hard for me, even though it was. It was mostly because of these first couple of inputs. It's really annoying. In a weird way, this is also the biggest issue I had with Hide by Crazy Man 50. Because that level could have also been great if it just skipped the first couple of jumps. For although I still do really like this level. I think it's pretty freaking amazing. It has a very unique vibe around it, and the gameplay is very much, you know, my thing. I'm very happy this got rated, and if you don't like the level, that's fine. Just don't play it. But what if a Minecraft speedrunner remade the level? A Minecraft speedrunner, what would it look like then? Surprisingly, not as annoying and not as green as I thought it would be. Punchdrunk is an unrated reimagining, remake, redeco, unofficial sequel or whatever of Game Over made by Zylenox, who has since quit Geometry Dash and decided to finally give 3D glasses a try. They worked for him, but even before he became a Minecraft god, he made some fantastic Geometry Dash levels. To me, this is one of his lesser works, though. This mostly comes down to this being a remake of another level that was already filling a very specific niche, and we really didn't need another level to fill that specific niche. This level somehow manages to have even more spam and even less pre-drop in it, which is built in Zai's signature factory style. This time with a little extra LGBTQ rights. The level looks good, with the drop having a slightly different but still very true to the original background. Which of these two levels is harder? I can't speak on that. I've beaten neither, and both look about the same difficulty to me. I think whichever one is harder for you, it just depends on your skill set. Either you're good at timings or you're good at spam. Most people are not good at both. I don't even think the question is that important, but I do think it's pretty interesting to ask. One thing they do have in common is both will give you a severe epileptic attack. So on that front, it's a draw. Make sure to write that down. There will be a quiz at the end. The biggest difference between these two levels is the pacing. Because Game Over pretty much gives you hatred and then a spam wave. And Punchdrunk really more so gives you a pre-drop and then a spam wave. I myself personally prefer Game Over because Punchdrunk feels far more disjointed and incomplete and weirdly paced. But I could totally see people liking Punchdrunk more. Also, the pre-drop in Game Over gives your hand far more time to rest, and in a level like this, that is very necessary. Punchdrunk have spam in the pre-drop. Why did you do that, you asshole? Also, the spam sections in Punchdrunk are like double as long as Game Over, so that also adds to the whole carpal tunnel vibe that it gives. I mean, I have beaten neither of them, but they look visually so similar, and they feel gameplay-wise so similar, that I don't really think it matters which one you pick. I do think that Game Over's existence takes a lot away from Punchdrunk. If it was really an original level, and I feel as though this level would have gotten more praise if it actually was the first to do this type of gameplay, but it wasn't. Punchdrunk tries to experiment like a tiny bit with the gameplay, especially near the end, where for some reason he just adds in a spider duel, and this asinine ending part that is even worse than Game Over somehow. Like, yeah, sure, it fits in more, but come on, it's so bad. Still though, I don't think this is nearly enough to really justify rating both levels instead of just Game Over. I do have to say, picking the level with the better song is even harder than picking your favorite level, because both of these have a song that just works so well. It just, how did they find two songs that work this well for this weird of gameplay? Songs don't even sound similar. The only thing that they have in common is that they have a very repetitive drop part. But it both work in a completely different way. So yeah, absolute props to Zylenox for finding a song that is maybe even better than the original Game Over. Overall, Punchdrunk isn't really a bad level, it's just very uninspired, especially because Game Over was such an original concept and level when it actually first released. Game Over and Punchdrunk fill this very specific niche that not many levels populate. Even though you can really argue why there are not that many levels that go for this type of gameplay, you can't deny that these two are not some of the most unique levels in the entire game. While personally I like Game Over just a bit more, I've heard a lot of people say that they prefer Punchdrunk, and I can totally see why. Both of these levels have aged very well, especially considering Game Over is more than 5 years old at this point. So if these levels look like your thing, give it a try. You might like them. Next time, I would really appreciate both a carpal tunnel and epilepsy warning at the beginning of both levels though.